Dunfermline Athletic is set to host Falkirk FC in a Scottish Championship match today at East End Park in Dunfermline, with the visitors currently leading the Scottish Championship table, having opened up a 5-point gap at the top of the league. In contrast, Dunfermline is struggling near the bottom of the standings, having won only 4 games this season, which led to the dismissal of their manager James McFake just before Christmas. So then, before we give you today's match review here on the Final Whistle playlist on the channel, I need you all to do one thing for me. Make sure you hit the like button if you've loved the video, make sure you subscribe if you are new around here, and click the notification bell so you never miss another video. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into this edition of the Final Whistle as Dunfermline Athletic take on Falkirk. The rivalry between these two clubs is well established. Historically, Falkirk has had the upper hand, securing 19 wins to the 10 wins for Dunfermline in their past 41 encounters, with 9 matches ending in a draw. Given the current form of both teams, Falkirk enters the match as the favourites to win. Notably, their last 5 victories have all been achieved without conceding a goal, indicating a strong defensive performance. So the Dunfermline lineup has been confirmed, and we go with the diamond in midfield. Chris Hamilton leads from the back, with Ewan Otu partnering Josh Cooper either side of that midfield. You've got Matty Todd as the 10 in the diamond. You've got a forward partnership of Chris Kane and Lewis McCann. You've got a nice back four there, captained by Carl Benictius. 4-2-3-1 then for Falkirk. Nicky Hogarth in goal. Aidan Nesbitt's in the team. Dylan Tate, keep an eye on him. An aggressive midfielder, a ball winner. Should be interesting to see how he plays today. Ethan Ross on one of the wings, another brilliant young player at 23. Got a lot of pace in him. Of course, leading the line up front is Ross McIver. And of course, you've also got players such as Luke Graham amongst it. You've got Sean Mackey back in the side, Liam Henderson in the defence, and Callum Morrison on the other wing on the channel. So, half-time, Dunfermline Athletic 1, Falkirk 1, and the first half is pretty much what I expected. Falkirk dominating for the first 20 minutes or so. They got the goal, Dylan Tate flicks in, Callum Morrison's on the end of the pass-through by his teammate, and Morrison fires it into back at net, and the goal asserted the dominance of Falkirk. It was Falkirk's dominance through and through that goal, and they dominated Dunfermline from back to front for the first 20 minutes or so. Then in stages, you could see Dunfermline coming back into it after the penalty. Of course, it was a penalty. End of the day, 50-50. A lot of contact in that on Kane from Aidan Nesbitt. He was penalised for the foul on Chris Kane. Penalty given, and Chris Kane tucks it away. Bit of controversy on the run-up, bit of a stuttering run-up. Falkirk players not happy with that one, and the fans certainly probably weren't happy. But Dunfermline equalise, they get the penalty, they score it, they equalise, and they then go back into the swing of things, and Dunfermline kind of drag it back in stages and try and get back into the game in some regards. I think 1-1's probably a fair result in the first half. I think Falkirk have definitely shown their dominance. They're showing exactly why they're top of the league and trying to aim back to the Scottish Premiership. And for me, I think that it's going to be a very interesting season overall for Falkirk if they keep playing that way. Like I said, I think Falkirk were great overall. I did think they played some good stuff. I think they lacked little bits in stages towards the end because I think Dunfermline were coming back into it in some regard. But I think that Dunfermline had elements of their play after the penalty was scored that they kind of dragged back into their system. They started playing it a bit better. And, they dragged it back enough. And I think a draw was a fair result going into the second half. So, overall, it should be interesting to see what happens going into the second half with Dunfermline and Falkirk. I'd assume that Falkirk will come out in this second half with a lot more aggression, a lot more fight that we saw in the first 20 minutes, and keep going at them. And I think keep putting Dunfermline to the sword, or try to put them to the sword. So I think the second half's going to be very, very interesting. But for the first half, good dominant period for Falkirk. Dunfermline dragged it back a bit after the penalty. And I think 1-1's probably a fair reflection of the scoreline. Falkirk just needs to get a bit more shots on target. They'll be all right. I think I've just experienced one of the most entertaining derby halves in the UK this season so far, and it's the final day of 2024. It ended up 3-3, in case you didn't know. Wow. I mean, let's talk about the goals first of all in that second half. And I did say about the first half, by the way, that if you skip through that, I said about the first half we need to see just a bit more on target from Falkirk. They did. Didn't realise that Dunfermline would do the same. As the game wore on, in that second half, it felt more of a derby. And the more of that derbiness came out of it. There was that moment, by the way, nearer towards the start of the second half, when the flare was going off and there was a worry they were going to stop the match for a bit because of the smoke near the goal. Proper derby atmosphere, like European ultras almost. But in all seriousness, let's talk about the goals in that second half. I mean, first of all, marginally onside, that quick free kick. Very, very smart from Dylan Tate. Very smart. And Nesbitt, on the end of that quick free kick, marginally onside for me, just fires back at net, get them back in front, and then, from the spot, Matty Todd scores the penalty. Definitely a penalty for me, 100% the right decision. Then, we get it to 3-2. Liam Henderson scores the goal. Calamitous defending in the middle. Not convincing enough for me, the goalkeeper, Toby Uwulayemi. I think that's how it's pronounced. And by the way, the keeper had a bit of a fumble before that moment as well, by the way. Fumbling it a bit and taking a last-ditch clearance from Chris Hamilton, who put his body on the line for that one, clearing out of danger. But yeah, fumbled it again, not convincing at all. Henderson puts it in. Falkirk fans on the pitch with 5 minutes to go, plus 7 minutes added time. And then, and here's the story behind the final goal, the equaliser, to end all equalisers. This man who scored the equaliser could have very well been sent off. Could have very well been sent off. That was literally teetering on the brink of a red card. I'm telling you, it was genuinely on the brink. That man only gets a yellow. Stays on the pitch, and that's the captain, by the way, and scores the equalising goal to give Dunfermline a point against the league leaders in one of the most entertaining derby second halves I've seen in UK football this year. Put that statement down in writing, get it on a quote website, fact, done, written off. One of the most entertaining halves in a derby in this country, in the whole United Kingdom, this year. Definitely up there for me. The passion, the fire, the desire, the fight to never give up, the constant goals, the lunging tackles, and they're not even bad tackles, half of them. Some of them are just physical, tough tackles. That's a derby for me. When you're giving it everything you've got, that's a derby. And that half was very, very entertaining for me as a neutral to watch. Very good half, and both teams deserve something out of that game. So finally on to my player of the match, and of course it has to be the captain, Carl Benictius. He was brilliant all game. I could have given it to a few other individuals for both sides, but Carl Benictius, for me, was brilliant. He put his body on the line, got involved in everything, that lunging, challenging second half. He was a proper commanding defender, and he got the goal at the back post. Again, no one marking at the back post from Falkirk's point of view, not the classic man on the back post marking system from the league leaders, but Benictius just showcasing what he can do with the back post and how he can jump above everyone else, get the header in the back of the net, and just shocked us all. Really, really good. Really good performance overall. Really commanding performance overall for me with Kyle. And yeah, for me, the player of the match, 100%. So then, that is it from this edition of the Final Whistle, looking at a brilliant derby match in the Scottish Championship. It finishes Dunfermline Athletic 3, Falkirk 3, but now I want to hear from every single one of you. What did you think about the derby? Let me know in the comments down below, and also do one more thing for me before you head off. Make sure you hit the like button if you've loved the content today. Make sure you subscribe if you are new around here. Nearly 98% of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so please change that and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL, ta-ra for now, and that is full time. Those two teams, they definitely meant that badge to them, 100%.